Have you ever wondered how one player can change the entire landscape of a team? Well, Vancouver Canucks fans, we might be on the brink of a true game changer. Rumors are swirling about a potential move that could reshape our roster and elevate our chances in the playoff race. Stay tuned, because this news is about to ignite your passion for the Canucks like never before. Kevin Lankinen is set to make a splash for Team Finland as they face off against Sweden today, and as a die-hard Vancouver Canucks fan, I can't help but feel a surge of excitement. Lankinen, our backup goalie, is stepping into a pivotal role after a tough loss to Team USA, and you can bet he's ready to prove himself. He's called this opportunity a dream come true, and honestly, I love that energy. It's that kind of passion that we need more of in our Canucks lineup, and perhaps it's a glimpse into what he can bring back to Vancouver after this tournament. The guy's got something to prove, and I'm all here for it. Now, looking ahead to the Four Nations face-off, the stakes are higher than ever. Ticket prices are surprisingly low, starting at just $39 for the USA versus Canada game. It's a perfect chance for fans to witness some high-stakes hockey. But let's talk about Team Canada for a moment. With Cale Makar's illness casting a shadow over their defense, I can't help but wonder, how will this impact their chances against a formidable USA squad? It raises the question, do you think this is a strategic move from Canada to get Thomas Harley into the lineup? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, it feels like a last-minute scramble, but on the other, Harley could bring fresh energy. And let's not forget about our former Canuck, Austin Matthews, who's back on the international stage alongside Charlie McAvoy and Matthew Tkachuk. These guys have a history of success together, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can replicate that magic. As a Canucks fan, I can't help but feel a mix of pride and jealousy. I want to see our players shine on that level too. Transitioning back to Lankinen, his performance could be crucial not just for Finland, but for the Canucks as a whole. If he steps up and showcases his talent, it could bolster his position in our roster moving forward. Do you think this was the best decision for the Canucks to have him in this situation? I'm genuinely curious about your thoughts. It's a balancing act, isn't it? We want our players to excel, but we also want to see them come back healthy and ready to contribute to our playoff push. As for Makar, I'm hoping he takes the ice. He's an elite talent, and every team needs that kind of player to secure victories. But if he can't go, we need to rally around our remaining defensemen. It's moments like these that test a team's resilience, and I believe that's what can ultimately lead us to success. And you? What do you think? How do you see these international tournaments affecting the players we love back in Vancouver? I want to hear your opinions down below. As we watch these games unfold, let's keep a close eye on how our guys perform and what it means for the Canucks' future. The decisions made today could very well shape our roster for the rest of the season. So let's engage in this conversation and dive deep into the implications of these games. The Vancouver Canucks have been in the spotlight this season for all the wrong reasons, and I can't help but feel a mix of frustration and concern for the direction we're headed. The rivalry between JT Miller and Elias Pettersson has taken center stage, causing waves not just in the locker room but also throughout the entire organization. As a lifelong fan, it's heartbreaking to see our star players at odds, forcing the team into a tight corner where they felt the need to trade Miller to the New York Rangers. Now, I know the decision to ship Miller out was a strategic one, but let's be real. This whole situation should never have escalated to the point where we had to make such a drastic move. Pavel Bure, a Canucks legend, weighed in on this mess and he didn't hold back. He pointed out that if you have a talented player who doesn't mesh with the team, that's a clear sign of management failure. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. It's like watching a beautiful painting slowly getting ruined because someone couldn't figure out how to blend the colors. With Pettersson still in the fold, we can only hope that he finds his groove again. Right now, the Canucks are hanging onto a playoff spot in the Western Conference with a record of 26-18-11, but you can feel the tension in the air. It's a fragile position to be in, and every game feels like a high-stakes gamble. The management had to know about the brewing storm long before it became a hurricane, yet they chose to let it fester. I mean, whispers about the rift started last season, but it seems like they were too optimistic, hoping time would heal all wounds. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Trading Miller was a necessary evil, and while we did manage to land Philip Chytil, Victor Mancini, and a first-round pick, we also sold that pick to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. It's a mixed bag for sure. On one hand, we've brought in some fresh talent, but on the other, it feels like we are just patching holes in a sinking ship. The real question is, are these moves enough to stabilize the team and give us a fighting chance in the playoffs? Now let's talk about the emotional impact this has on us, the fans. We invest our time, our hopes, and our loyalty into this team. And right now, it feels like a roller coaster ride with too many lows. I can't help but wonder, do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. Part of me understands that sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the greater good. But another part of me feels that we could have salvaged the situation with better management. As we watch this season unfold, I urge everyone to keep a close eye on how these changes play out. The Canucks have a chance to turn things around, but it's going to take more than just trades. It requires a cohesive vision and commitment from the entire organization. And you know what? I want to hear from you. What do you think about all these moves? Are we on the right path, or are we just spinning our wheels? Join the conversation in the comments below. Your insights matter, and together we can dissect the future of our beloved Canucks. Don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates because you won't want to miss what comes next. Like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. This is just the beginning of what promises to be an exhilarating season. Let's keep the passion alive for our Canucks.